lamb buzzing over cheap motel print sky. TV on with no sound, blue light across my eyes. Motel key on the Bible, letter folded by my hand. I've been writing you all evening with words you'll never scan. Machine down the hallway, coughing every time it stalls. My boots by the door still carry someone else's town. Engine humming in my chest, but this body won't sit down. You fell for the quiet side, not the noise behind my trade. Thought these hands were built for holding, not the deals that had to fade. Every favor that I carried bore a number on its back. Every smile that I collected had a ledger in the black. When the heat climbed up my collar, they started circling my lane. So I packed away our mornings, left you outside of the flame. Told you you'd be safer if you never knew the route I took. Now your shadow rides beside me every time I steal a look. There's a part of me that's driving and a part that never moves. One keeps the car between the lines, one pays the hidden dues. I'm a last exit gentleman, headlights low and clean. Leave before the trouble flowers, never stay to see the scene. I don't raise my voice, I just raise my leaving hand. Walk out while the fire's small and let it find another man. Yeah, I move in quiet circles where the long road starts to bend. I don't wait to beg forgiveness, I just vanish like a friend. Fold his letter back in third, slide it in my jacket seam. Kill the screen and let the silence fill the corners of this room. Neon from the diner flickers on the hood outside my door. Gas pump ticking under starlights, insects buzzing at the floor. I check the mirrors on the windshield like I'm checking who I am. Just a man who keeps on moving by the rules of his own hand. But the truth sleeps in the glove box with your picture been torn. You can walk out of a doorway, but not out of what you've sworn. If you hear an engine idling low out past your gate, if the night leans in and whispers like it's keeping you awake, that's the part of me that stayed there, pacing circles in your room, while the rest keeps chasing borders underneath the hanging moon. I'm a last exit gentleman, headlights low and clean. Leave before the question's corner, never wait to watch you lean. I don't draw a gun, I just draw a line and go. Let the steadyman stay and fix it, I slip back into the road. Yeah, I walk like I'm in control, with my hand upon the wheel. But the miles ride out the verdict on the man I never healed. Whoa. painted concrete, top floor of this garage. Stairwell light is buzzing like a tired bodyguard. Wind is pulling legend, city humming far below. Tail lights making little rivers where the traffic starts to slow. You're staring right at the heads like if we're watching in your mind. Hands still smelling like the rubber from those gloves you left behind. Kid, you asked me for the handbook on how quiet men survive. So I brought you where the noise is small and all the deals arrive. First rule, keep your circle tighter than this parking lane. Every name you write down once can come back with a chain. Second, never move in anger, only move when you are sure. We don't fix a petty slight, we fix the things they can't ignore. Third rule, leave no traces but the ones you choose to show. Closed briefcase in the trunk, nothing loose you don't control. You see that black sedan below us, engine cooling in the dark. That's where every soft mistake ends up waiting for a spark. They think it's all about the swagger and the shine inside a coat, but real power doesn't shout, it's the hand behind the nose. And leave no echo. Keep every footprint in your head. Let all your secrets ride the shadow. Say less than half of what you read. If you wanna move like quiet legends, you don't chase thunder, you steer the show. You walk the edge above this city like a ghost that leaves no echo. There's a coffee cup beside me, cooling by this concrete rail. Little scratch across its metal from a night that tipped the scale. I watch cameras blink and swivel, I've watched stairwell doors unlock. Time my breathing with the beeping of some distant loading dock. You don't see the sleepless windows, all the doors I never rang. You just see a man in black who makes a problem stop and sink. But every time I clean a story, cut a thread and close a lid, I lose one more harmless version of the life I never did. So if you're staying in the shadow, learn to carry it with grace. Don't go carving out a legend just to wear it on your face. Let your name stay off the folders where the loud ones love to live. Be the hand that moves in silence, not the mouth that has to give. Walk like a ghost and leave no echo. Keep every footprint in your head. Let all your choices ride the shadow. Say less than half of what you said. If you wanna stand where quiet men stand, you don't chase thunder, you steer the show. You walk the edge above this city like a ghost that leaves no echo. Yeah, you walk the edge above this city like a ghost that leaves no echo. jacket on my chair and a nameplate on the glass. Said her husband through the window like a ledger of my past. Conference table in the half-light, single photo sitting there. Metal latch on a slim briefcase, one more quiet weight to bear. I remember when this city barely knew my second name. Just a kid in borrowed cufflinks trying to walk a sharper lane. Now the elevator opens on a floor that feels like mine, but every dotted line I sign here pulls me deeper in its spine. You don't shout when you've been climbing, you just learn to move the room. Let the silence do your talking, let the numbers fill the gloom. On the quiet side of power, I don't have to raise my hand. I just shift a line on paper and it changes half this land. On the quiet side of power, all the lights fall under me, but these glass walls hold the bargain that the streets will never see. On the quiet side of power, every step is measured slower, 'cause this city is my compass and the judge of how I move. There's a red light on the camera in the corner by the door. Little eye that watched me trading one more shoreline for a shore. I keep footsteps on this carpet measured, even clean and slow. If you never break your pattern, they can't read what you don't show. Every contract that I whisper, every handshake out of view, build a tower made of favors and now keeps its keys on me too. I once thought I ran this city from this polished wooden desk. Now I feel it breathing through me, counting interest in my chest. On a quiet side of power, I can turn a tide with ink, I can move a harbor promise with a nod and with a drink. On a quiet side of power, there's no gun smoke in the air, just a man alone with choices and a skyline that can stare. On the quiet side of power, every night the stakes climb over, 'cause this city is my mirror and the law of how I Use rooming to make you off and squeeze leather to me. You share the wind move, whoever should shroud defeat. Build and groove around a low tremolo things that lets a quiet man in the corner who decides what you will pay. Build the groove around the low tremolo cans. There's a quiet man in the corner who decides what you will pay. But it's the quiet man in the corner who decides what you will pay. I'm the one who keeps the ledger when the bride suits walk away. Every favor, every secret, every promise that you make comes and waits inside my notebook till the day it comes to take. Yeah, it's the quiet man in the corner, sets the line you cannot run. If you wanna wear this shadow, understand what you become. I've watched boys in sharper shoes than yours slip softly from this floor. Elevator doors slide open, then their names don't cross this door. Not from sirens in an alley, not from some loud final scene, just from debts they never notice, written down and in between. You think you're here for muscle and the rush of moving cash, but I see your fingers tremble from that first small piece of ash. You're still young enough to pivot, still a maybe, not a must. I can steer you toward this ledger, or I can point you to the dust. There was once a night I held this office key and coat in hand, watched the numbers on the printer, thought of leaving what I'd planned. Then I heard it feed out pages full of names that looked to me, and I knew I'd built a kingdom made of quiet, hungry knees. So heed the quiet man in the corner when he tells you there's a cost. Every step you take toward this chair is another piece you've lost. All the legends, all the rumors, all the stories of your might end up written in the margins where I total up the night. Yeah, it's the quiet man in the corner, not the one who owns the room. If you sit down in this shadow, you'll be counted swore that he read your swam zone. The feels thing that drives us and that still feels no more. The king ain't surely is a prey, something to prove. That I failed on the lie right hand. The sick door humming low behind his pound of walls of plan. You keep your voice low, asking how to really win, how to make this city move without a mark on your skin. I used to be the last call in a long box hall. Was it all? Names on paper that would never see the day. You're just a figure sliding from one column into gray. I watched your brother fall when the numbers wouldn't bend. He trusted that the math would never turn on him, my friend. But the smallest margin is a knife you never see. Sign one change at midnight, left him outside, not free. You think it's all about the money and the cars, but power's in the shadows, not the lights or the bars. It's in the photos that nobody dares to touch, and the quiet voice that says that's enough. I don't raise my voice to shake the city around. I draw one line and your world falls down. I keep this city under glass and ink, make your future turn on what I think. I don't need a crown or a loaded hand, just a steady wrist and a steady plan. I'll move your life with a stroke of a pen, and the stain on my fingers never washes clean again. There's a metal box waiting in the corner of the room. Key on a lanyard like a little hanging moon. Inside every secret that keeps the floor from breaking. Debts and favors, every silent oath we're taking. Hallway lights flicker when we walk out late. You press the button, I decide the way. Who pays in full, who pays in fear, who gets a second chance, who disappears. Once I signed a line across the quiet man. He wasn't in the circle, but he brushed the plan. Just a small repair shop near the outer ring. Needed one more season to keep his family in the spring. I moved the digit just to cover one low debt. Saved a lot of name, let his name forget. Next year I passed his empty door again. Felt the silent window staring at my pen. I don't raise my voice to shake the city around. I draw one line and your world falls down. I keep this city under glass and ink, make your future swing on what I think. You wanna move like a hidden hand, man, you better love the weight of if and when. I move your life with a stroke of a pen, and the ghosts in the margins never let me sleep again. I just straighten pages, write you in or out. You want this power, count the cost, my friend. Every line you sign comes back again. Late at night in this room, suitcase by the door, the light outside the window's weak. The world don't hear me anymore. I'm counting what's left of my sin on the edge of this bed. Took one last job, now I'm gone, but these ghosts still haunt my head. I can still hear the city hum. It won't let me leave alone. And now I'm packing up my past, but my hands still shake when I reach for the phone. Never thought I'd end like this, with nothing but this quiet room. I used to run with men in suits, now I've lost that taste of doom. The money came easy, but the lies, they never let me breathe. Now the just won't let me leave. I should've known, should've seen the cost, should've seen the price. But the silence that I crave now is just a hollow sacrifice. Now I'm packing up my future, but it's heavier than before. I should've made my peace long ago, but the shadows always keep the score. The price of silence, it'll follow you wherever you go. You think you're free when you're running, but the past is all you know. You can leave the noise behind you, but the quiet's what you fear. The price of silence, boy, it's always right there near. I should have told you this sooner, but I couldn't find the words. I never wanted you to see me like this, always chasing what I deserve. Now this door's between us, I won't walk back through. And I hope you find the strength that I couldn't hold on to. I'm done with the deals, done with the game, done with the smoke-filled room. But the price of silence, kid, it's a price that always looms. Maybe I could have changed the way I move, but I stayed too long. I learned the truth too late, when all that's left is the sound of a lonely song. The price of silence, it'll follow you wherever you go. You think you're free when you're running, but the past is all you know. You can leave the noise behind you, but the quiet's what you feel. The price of silence, boy, it's always right there near. was a stain across it all. Desk lamp buzzing over paper with your name at the top. Little coffee ring in the corner from a cup that went cold and stopped. Motel key on a plastic tag, 304 in faded blue. Suitcase waiting by the door like it already knows what I'll do. Highway humming in the distance, ice machine down the hall. Now I'm writing you a letter that'll never leave this wall. I've been living off these exits where the trucks all shake the glass, counting folded bills in glove boxes, letting nameless faces pass. I would call you from a payphone, say I'm fine and on my way. Leave out all the quiet meetings where the daylight wouldn't stay. You once said you'd drive out, throw your bags into my car, trade your careful little kitchen for a booth in some dim lit bar. But I keep you on the safe side of the map you'll never see. There's a price tag on my shadow, and it doesn't touch your key. I pulled strings that turned a quiet road into a storm before, but the hardest move I make tonight is walking out that door. Goodbye from room 304, from a man who knows he could start a war with 3 short calls and 1 old score, but won't drag you through that anymore. I'm signing off with steady hands, letting go of what we planned. Goodbye from room 304, this is me, not coming back for more. On the nightstand, turned it down to catch my breath. Didn't want your eyes to watch me choose between you and what's left. There's an envelope half folded, never sealed and never stamped, next to highway flyers curling where the lamp has left them damp. Boots lined up beside the bed, laces tucked in clean and tight. I've always left my scenes this tidy, like I was never in the night. I'll leave cash inside an envelope with a name that you can trust, but I'll keep my face off every highway, that's the only way it must. If I loved you any softer, I would let you chase me down, ride beside these wired back roads till they finally take us down. But I love you like a secret that I lock behind my chest, so I cut myself out of your future, so your future gets to rest. Goodbye from room 304, from a man who knows he could start a war with 3 short calls and 1 old score, but won't lay that weight on you anymore. I'm signing off with steady hands, breaking loose from what we planned. Goodbye from room 304, fold this ghost back into the floor. Paint is peeling by the window, buzzing neon down below. There's a coffee cup gone cold beside a key on faded chrome. Room 17, thin curtain, highway singing soft and low. Bend over this cheap notepad, trying to find the words to go. Suitcase leaning by the doorway, zipper halfway open wide. Boots kicked under the chair, like I might still change my mind. Vending machine keeps humming in the hallway down the line. I'm writing you a letter that I'll never let you find. You wanted little quiet mornings, plants along a sunny sill. I keep waking up in places where the mirrors look too still. Out there on the backroom tables, I've seen hands that never shake. I've seen smiles with hidden razors, I've seen deals that make you break. You keep talking about a garden, kids that never learn these names. I keep checking out of motels with the same old card and games. If I lay this code in history on your kitchen waiting chair, they will follow like a shadow, they will breathe inside your ear. There's a number in my pocket, and it means they're on my trail. And they're asking where I'm sleeping, and they rarely ever fail. So I'm the quiet outlaw in room 17 tonight. I'm the gentleman who leaves you in the safety of the light. If I stay, they'll track my footprints to the number on your door. So I fold this unsent letter, slide it deep inside a drawer. I'm the quiet outlaw in room 17, you see. Walking out without a whisper, so they never come for you through me. There's a gas pump at the corner, ticking numbers into dark. I can see it from the window, like a metronome for sharks. There's a diner sign still flicking, one blue letter always dead. Like the part of me that's leaving every mile I roll ahead. I remember how you held me when I swore I'd come back clean. But the phone keeps waking faces that you never have to see. So I zipped the case in silence, lifted careful from the floor. Take one last look at the notepad, then I eased the latchless door. There was a night beside a river when a man did not come home. And they asked me where he vanished while I sat there, dry as stone. That was when I heard the message written clear along the stream. Any heart that stands beside me wears a crosshair in its sleep. So I'm the quiet outlaw in room 17 tonight. I'm the man who pulls his shadow from your soft and steady life. If I stay, they'll track my footprints to the number on your door. So I leave this folded letter and the pen upon the floor. I'm the quiet outlaw on this highway you can't see, starting up a silent engine so they never drag your name through me.
Over all those things, like a glass wall top floor office at night. City lights reflecting on the windows, safe light, blinking briefcase and scene. High. And everywhere I'm spread over atmospheres like a glass wall top floor office at night. City lights reflecting on the windows, safe light, blinking briefcase and see. Every late fee, every fair little cut turned into another step up from the basement in the dust. In the morning, thought the hardest are the ones I'm my fear, and the ones I'm not the hardest I'm in all. Alright. Turns into skin. I just stand there in the window, ask, do I own this room or does it own me from within? I run this city from the top floor, quiet room, where the real thunder is, and a red line that just blooms. But it's still inside my head. Yeah, I move like a boss through the glow and the gloom, but I'm locked in here alone with every promise I consume. In this top floor quiet where the power wears my face, I look like I'm in control, but I'm bound to what I chase. But I'm bound to what I chase. Case open on the table, papers lined in perfect rows. Key card waiting by the handle, where it leads I always know. I close a drawer on the folder that could turn the whole night's game. Slide a single black chestnut back beside my family name. Elevator at the corner hums and opens empty bright. Hallway numbers down to parking like a tunnel out of sight. I could leave the suited hanging, walk out slow and not look back, or I could smooth my own reflection and keep everything on track. Some nights the man inside the glass looks older than the years. Lines that business couldn't draw get cut by private fears. You can polish every surface till it shines like something pure, but the quiet on this top floor knows exactly who it's for. I run the city from a top floor quiet room, where the real thunder is a pen and a red line ledger's bloom. I walk these corridors like a verdict being read. Gentlemen, shoes on carpet, but it's still inside my head. Yeah, I move like a boss while the skyline calls my name. But the higher that you climb, boy, the tighter wraps the chain in this top floor quiet room, with the city at my feet. I look like I own the night, but it owns the man you meet.
Sitting here, watching the city slip away. The lights fade out, but they'll never be far, no matter how far I stray. I built my world in the shadows, now it's time to go. Got one last train to catch, but the weight of the past won't let me go. The wheels keep falling, the city's calling my name, but I can't stay in the game. It's all the same, it's all the same. I played my part, now I'm leaving it behind. But the city's breathing down my neck, always on my mind. I hear the train whistle, it's pulling me away. But the city's whispering, begging me to stay. Oh, I made my choice it's never fun. Oh, that somehow I tried to escape, tried to cut the times, but the city's always in my mind under these darkened skies.
Back room after closing, chairs turned upside on the floor, neon leaking through the doorway, counting sins I can't ignore. You're drying one last glass, pretending you don't really hear, while I roll this heavy pen cap by a half-forgotten beer. Ledger open on the table, pages lined like courthouse rolls, every column clean and perfect, only me, God knows what it holds. I say they think the power's in the man who walks in first through the door, but it lives down here in ink strokes with the man who keeps the score. Upstairs in the boss's office, blinds half closed against the night,
Chessboard by the window, where he plans out every fight. Safe humming in the corner, stacked with names and folded cash. Revolver shadow on the wood grain, like a question you don't ask. My brother stood beside me once, jacket off, sleeves rolled tight. Said, I trust you with the numbers, you've kept every balance right. But we both heard in that silence, someone had to pay the bill. And the quiet man with fountain pens decides which hearts stand still. You count glasses, I count favors, both get tallied at the end. I write lines no one can challenge, I erase what they defend. When the faces turn to figures and the names fade into songs, past the moment something breaks, and you can't own what you've done. I'm the man who keeps a score when this city starts to shake, balancing the ledgers for the choices that they make. Every zero, every stroke hides a doorway, hides a war. I don't shout, I don't pull triggers, I just move the numbers more. You can crown whoever's roaring on the floor in their fine coat, but the man who keeps the score is the hand around the throat. That night the hallway flickered, I was locking up the door, suitcase waiting by the coat rack, like I knew what was in store. Boss slid me one thin folder, said this one's out of line, and smiled. I saw my brother's coded A's, printed small and neat and mild. I could've crossed it, could've burned it, could've folded it in two, could've poured us both a drink and told him what I planned to do. Instead I signed where I was pointed, set the numbers like a trap, watched the revolver shadow lengthen as the safe door murmured back. So if some quiet man in cufflinks never raises up his voice, no, he still might be the one who writes the edges of your choice. Not the shout, not the commotion, not the winner of the fight, but the name behind the ledger in a small and careful write. I'm the man who keeps the score when the night is keeping tab, balancing the ledgers for the deals behind the cabs. Every zero, every line hides a brother at a door. I don't run, I don't throw punches, I just move the numbers more. Let them toast their little empire, spill their pride across the floor. I'll be haunted in the quiet as the man who keeps the score. tapping rhythm with your heel. New shoes, sharp coat, hungry eyes that say you're ready for a deal. Top floor of this old garage, concrete shining under lamps. You walk over like a question, with your hands stuffed in your pants. No, I'm leaning back on this dark sedan, arms folded, breathing slow. Up here you hear the highway hum and see how small the houses grow. I slide an envelope across the hood, say take a breath, don't speak. Every number on that paper is a wound that never leaks. I watch big boys in glass offices talk louder when they're scared. Saw a man lose half his future 'cause he thought nobody cared. I've seen engines in the river, promises burned out behind a shed. Learn to leave before the shouting, let the loud ones end up bled. You ask me how I made it, how I'm still here, still in play. With no headlines, no parade, just this same old suit of gray. I say I never chase the spotlight, let the noise forget my name. Get my circle small and quiet, let the fools go call it game. You think strength is all in volume, in the cut of what you wear, but power lives in empty rooms and in how you leave a chair. This is the quiet man's code, written low and left untold. Walk slow, talk less, let your story stay on hold. Keep your promise like a weapon that you'll never have to show. If you wanna breathe for years here, learn to move when others freeze slow. Yeah, this is the quiet man's code, carved in steel beneath your feet. Let them argue in the neon, you just listen to their feet. There's a camera by the stairwell, it's been staring at the floor. I know which light stays broken on the far side of that door. I walked out of bad decisions with my collar still in place, 'cause I learned which words to swallow, which to never leave a trace. I see thunder in your heartbeat, see you reaching for a crown, but I buried men with brighter smiles in this very part of town. So I tap the hood beside you, say you don't need to be the flame, be the shadow on the wall that makes the fire forget your name. Don't explain more than you answer, don't show all the cards you hold. Don't mistake a crowded table for a heart that won't be sold. Don't confuse a raised voice with a spine that's really firm. If you're doing this for glory, you should take the other turn. This is a quiet man's code, no applause and no bright sign. You protect the ones behind you, keep their faces off the line. Let your patience be the armor that they never see you wear. If you wanna last in this city, learn to vanish from the glare. Yeah, this is the quiet man's code, let it sink and let it stay in the backseat of your thinking every time you walk away. Yeah. while the trucks roll slowly past. You keep tracing little circles in the moisture on the wood. Eyes keep drifting to the duffel like you think you understood. You've been running little in, carrying what they hand to you. Thinking danger feels like purpose, thinking quiet makes you true. But the phone that never saves you is the one that rings for me when the story turns to questions and they need it not to be. You say you like my quiet, say you wanna learn my trade, but you don't see all the faces pressed like ghosts against this shade. I clean what you can't afford to see, all the wrong kind of memories that you left out in the street. When the night starts asking who did what, where were we? I'm the shadow at the counter, I erase your history, but the bill comes due in pieces, kid, it never comes in free. I clean what you can't afford to see. Motel key between the menus, number stamped in faded blue. I could slide across the table, say tonight it's all on you. There's a burner in that duffel and a shirt with no ID and a folded highway road map with a line straight out of me. First time that I answered, it was just a broken deal, just a car left in a pasture, just a promise not to feel. Then the calls got a bit later and the silence turned to brick, and my heartbeat learned the rhythm of a second sweeping tick. I clean what you can't afford to see, every footprint in the hallway, every stain on every sheet. When the questions hit the doorway and the answers try to flee, I'm the one who bends the story till it fits what they believe. But the highway keeps on humming all the names that used to be. So think hard before you take this key from me, 'cause I clean what you can't afford to see. brass lamp on the deck, throwing circle wood, old leather chair beneath you, you're still sitting like you're good. Clock hands crawl above the bookcase, filing seconds into dust. My ledger open in the lamplight, names and numbers we don't trust. Revolver shadow on the blotter, have a chessboard by my hand. Black king waiting in the corner, never move until I plan. You talk loud about the corners, all the noise out on the street. But the weight of all that talking lives and folders at my feet. Yeah. He's the man in man moves the pieces and keeps the hit in the ledger. For bosses in the legends, we keep word and count like mad. Chandler Bible. Quiet on this earth, you were sharp and quick with answers. You could smell a crooked bed, thought that danger meant the barrel, not the number on the dead. Every barroom glass we tallied, every favor, every lie, found its way into these pages under someone's sleepless eye. You keep staring at this window, at the chair behind the door. Think the power's in the shouting and the boots that hit the floor. But I'm the man who moves the pieces while your name is on the street. I decide which hand gets taken, who runs cold beneath the sheet. Every loud man needs one ledger that the daylight doesn't read. I keep score for all you legends, I put lions on their knees. If you think you want that kingdom, there's a price you'll never see. Don't go reaching for that chair unless you're ready not to sleep. Oh, oh, oh. There's a folder with your handwriting, paper curling at the edge. Few small favors, couple secrets, one loose promise, one old pledge. I can balance what you've given against everything you've burned. I can hide you in the columns till the tables all get turned. But the higher that you're climbing, the more quiet you must be. Every word you drop in anger writes another line for me. I watch louder men than you or end up folded like this chair, while the hand that signed their ending never raised his voice or glare. This whole city is a chessboard made of towers, docks and bars, tiny pawns and hallway mirrors, heavy rooks and armored cars. All their names are in these pages, every favor, every pass. Each one swears they are the story, none outrun this ledger glass. Start running hot, I erase the wrong initials from the pages you forgot. Every loud man needs one shadow that the jury doesn't see. I write endings for you legends, I can stop your enemies. So if you still want that power, take this warning straight from me. Never ask to hold this city till you learn to count like me.
Plastic tag with a faded rumor. Thin walls humming down our way with the wind and the thunder. Neon from the station, sign is bleeding through the blind. Coffee cooling in a paper cup, map folded by my side. Roll like a wheel rolls on asphalt, hell like wheels on asphalt. Melt like birthdays, roll like wheels on asphalt. You just saw the leather jacket, the slow walk, steady eyes. Didn't see the running totals, holes in the deal behind my lies. Every glove compartment pistol, every envelope of cash, every favor that I'm owing that can turn a life to ash. There are men who hold my number, there are questions they still keep, there are names I never whisper. If I want you safe to sleep, so I checked us off a checklist in a back room by the road. Now I'm crossing out my future, so you never share this alone. I could stay and let the trouble find our door some quiet night, or I leave before it learns which window holds your light. You'll wake up to an absence, just a space where I once dressed. There'll be clothes left in the closet, but no forwarding address. 'Cause outlaws don't leave a forwarding address. We just fade into the highway, trade a name for nameless steps. I'll be a number on a motel bill, a ghost you won't confess. Baby, men like me move on in silence, and outlaws don't leave a forwarding address. Well, outlaws don't leave a forwarding address. There's a photograph in my wallet, edges curled from worn out days. You were laughing in a diner, wiping coffee from your face. I could drive back to that counter, let the bell above the door ring twice. You'd say I look a little older, I would smile and say I'm fine. But the mirror in this bathroom knows a truth I can't disguise. It's a face that brings a question into every stranger's eyes. If I sit down at your table, I bring shadows to your plate. So I'm folding up this letter, and I'm trusting you to hate. One more exit in the rear view, one more town without a sign, one more room with buzzing ceiling lights, and a lock that isn't mine. If you feel a small wind shifting when you're walking down your street, that's just me turning my engine so our lives don't ever meet. 'Cause outlaws don't leave a forwarding address. We just whisper to the white lines, wear our secrets like a vest. I'll be a rumor by the river, just a story at your desk. Baby, men like me move on in silence. Outlaws don't leave a forwarding address. Yeah. Outlaws don't leave a forwarding address. Yeah, outlaws don't leave a forwarding address.
be gone before the sunrise, with your name still in my chest. If you ever feel me watching, it's just distance doing its best. Baby, men like me move on in silence, and outlaws don't leave a forward in address. Yeah, outlaws don't leave a forward in address.
Leather chair taking clock, tower view of this whole town. Chessboard on the table where I move pieces up and down. There's a ledger on the desktop, every favor, every debt. Folder with your picture in a drawer you never get to check. I see you in that doorway, new suit, eager eyes. You think the power lives downstairs where the concrete never dries. Back seats, windows cracked to hear the street. Now I sign off on decisions with a fountain pen, steady beat. I've closed files on old brothers, brought some numbers back from red, kept a few from disappearing, let some vanish instead. You want your cut, your corner, you want heads to turn your way. You don't see the calls at midnight when the walls feel thin as clay. Every handshake in this office hides a blade beneath the cloth. Every quiet yes I give you has a price that someone pays off. You see suits and polished wood, think all the noise stops here, but everything they shout below still ends up in the quiet room upstairs. I'm the shadow in the chair. I keep the numbers and the name, decide who breathes the air. You wanna walk like a boss, stand where everybody stares. You better learn to hold your tongue in the quiet room upstairs. Across the globe, two clear glasses on the desk as I slide a folder slow. There's a revolver in the safe, but I don't reach for that tonight. I just tap the man you crossed once with my finger in the light. This is what it really costs you when you move before you think, when you chase every disrespect right to the edge of the brink. You shift your weight in silence, fix your tie
watching younger men come climbing, wanting keys to all these things. You'll feel ledgers getting heavier every time a page gets turned, and you'll hear your own voice warning with the lessons that you learn. In the quiet room upstairs, I'm the shadow in the chair. I keep the numbers and the names, decide who breathes the air. You wanna walk like a boss, stand where everybody stares. You better learn to love the silence in the quiet room upstairs. Quiet room upstairs, lights are low and phone lines bare. If you make it to this floor, you leave pieces of you there. You wanna live like a legend, like the man behind the glare. You better make your peace with ghosts in the quiet room upstairs. Forgetting who was inside us, was focused on power, control and the cost of hope. Holler at us what I feel. Key card blinks a little green light, door clicks open, I step through. One lamp on above the table, stack of photos waiting blue. Time for losing cufflinks shining, jacket hanging from my hand, city pressed against the window, like a map of what I planned. Every dotted line I signed on, every quiet little deal, turn these empty evening offices into something I can feel. They call me in when things get tangled, when the numbers start to bleed. I can turn a crooked ledger into something they all read, like a clean report of profit with the corners filed smooth, while the real engine keeps on humming where I never have to move. Down below the streets are breathing, every alley every light. All the corners where the favors crawl like pieces in the night. I don't shout, I don't go hunting, I don't stand in any line. I just tilt the board a little, watch the city fall in time. You think power is a volume, how loud a man can be, but the loud ones all come knocking with their hats off when they see paper stamped and doors swung open by a hand they never touch. I sit quiet in this office, never needing to say much. I hold my share of the night on the high floors where the lights don't sleep. I hold my share of the night, every code and every key I keep. I hold my share of the night, but the night holds a share of me. Yeah, the night holds a share of me. Feel the air, fall off windows, blinking patterns from the towers I won't share. I can trace my name in outlines, not in letters but in steel, in the way the money circulates, in the weight of what we deal. Phone face down upon the table, buzzes once and then lies still. Just another quiet partner, leaning on another bill. Out here with my sleeves rolled open, leaning on this cold steel rail. I can feel this city watching, like it's reading every detail. There were days I walked these sidewalks with a scuffed and borrowed tie, counting coins and counting chances, watching brighter people glide. Now the floors remember footsteps, elevators know my face, but I can't quite tell for certain if I own or serve this place. Every favor that I broker, every door I make swing wide, leaves another small tattoo of this city on my hide. I could cash out, take a suitcase, let this skyline fade to black, but I know if I step away now, some part of me won't come back. I hold my share of the night on the top floors where the glass runs deep. I hold my share of the night while the restless streets below don't sleep. I hold my share of the night, but the night keeps a share of me. You can walk like you're untouchable when you're walking next to me, but the shine around our footsteps isn't something you get free. I hold my share of the night, so the loud men feel like kings, and the city takes its payment in the quiet private things. Yeah, the night keeps us sharing everything.
Close the door and kill the
jukebox, let that last chord fade away. You can hear the fridge behind you and the bar crowd start to sway. Single bulb above this table draws a circle on the floor. 2 chairs and a metal ashtray, nothing fancy, nothing more. There's a safe behind that curtain, there's a ledger in that drawer. There's a lineman cross out front that doesn't reach this room next door. You said you want the deeper waters, want respect and want your share. So sit down, straighten your shoulders, learn the rules they won't declare. I've been standing in the corners while the loud ones stomped and laughed. I've been the quiet hand that signed what never made it to a draft. I watched big men at the counter throw their shoulders, raise their glass. Then I watched them leave in silence when their moment came to pass. You don't see me in the mirror when you check your tie and hair, but my shadow's on your footsteps every time you climb a stair. I don't need my name in stories carved in tabletops and smoke. I keep scoring hidden ledgers, I keep truth in what I spoke. You can be the voice that trembles or the calm behind the deal. You can chase the noisy legend or learn how real power feels. I'm the quiet right hand in the back room where the real decisions load, where the glass is sweat and silence and the secrets never show. Out there men rehearse their stories, in here men shoulder the load. Real men move in silence, it's the backroom code. Leave the shouting to the dreamers, leave the bragging to the crowd. If you walk behind this curtain, you don't get to talk out loud. See this chessboard on the counter, half the pieces put away. Every move you make in here rewrites a game they'll never play. I've turned keys and locked in favor, slid envelopes across this wood, laid a pistol on this table just to show I understood. I folded letters I don't send, burned the edges in that tray, watched a grown man sign his silence, stand up straight and walk away. Every knock along that hallway is a choice and not a show. Either you protect the circle or you're first one told to go. On the other side of midnight, when the laughter's running thin, all that's left is what you promised and the weight you're walking in. You can count your worth in volume or in what you choose to hold. Strong men carry quiet burdens, that's the heart of backroom code. I'm the quiet right hand in the back room where the real decisions load, where the glass is sweat and silence and the secrets never show. Out there they can toast their legends, they can shout and pound the oak. Real men live by what they carry, not by every word they spoke. So decide before you enter what you're ready to uphold. Real men move in silence, it's the back room code. with your headlights killed, just a dash glow on your hands, gravel crunching under boots as you walk down where I stand. Concrete pillars stained with years, river talking low and black, metal rail above us humming from the trucks that never slack. You say you wanna climb the ladder, sit a little closer in, want a name that makes them quiet when you step into a room. Kid, they only see the surface when they watch a table turn. Down here under this old bridge is where the real lessons burn. Briefcase at midnight, close the doors and check the lock. Stood one step behind the chairman while he smoothed his little talk. When a favor went sideways, I was the one who fixed the scene, made the story fit the paper so it read like someone's dream. You see a man in tailored fabric, think he owns a whole wide board, but the one who keeps it spinning pays in things he can't afford. Every quiet little problem that I buried in this ground left another stone inside me that don't make a single sound. You think power's in the spotlight and the chariot's in a state, but the real control sits lower in the man who takes the blame. When they raise a glass above us, we're the ones who stand and bleed. So if you really want this feeling, listen close to what you need. Take the coat and leave. Don't go into my shadow. You can walk like a real man, kid, without wearing what I know. If you wanna feel like a legend, learn to stand and then to go. Yeah, take the coat and leave. Don't plant your roots this low, 'cause a man who lives down here too long forgets what makes him whole. There's a pistol in my glove box, I don't reach for like before. Not because I turn much softer, just from counting every score. Every knock on some back doorway, every name I made fade out. Build a weight, you can't go jogging, kid, you just drag it all about. One day you'll get that phone call where they use your full first name, ask you handle this in silence, keep the family out of flame. You'll be standing at a crossing, either answer or refuse. Both those roads can twist a good man till he don't know what to choose. I had chances to step sideways, take a bus and not return. Left them hanging like old jackets while the engine slowly turned. Told myself that I was loyal, that I liked the weight of keys, till the sound of my own footsteps started sounding wrong to me. Now this city knows my posture, knows the angle of my jaw. I can't walk a simple sidewalk without feeling what I saw. I'm not here to make you smaller, I'm not here to make you stay. I'm just giving you the one thing that I never took that day. Take the coat and leave. Don't don't get welded to this road. They can keep their whisper glory, they can keep their borrowed throne. You can keep your own reflection, you can sleep inside your home. Take the coat and leave before this city writes its claim in bone.
There's a chessboard in the corner where the pieces halfway play. Old grog humming over a bottle, second-hand aches away. Back door open too. You can feel the metal rail, smell the sun, the camp on the water. I keep gloves inside my pocket, never leave them in the car. When the phone sings past midnight, I'm already where you are. You don't see me in the pictures when the stories hit the street. I just straight and crooked and read, brush the chaos off my feet. You say it's just another favor, just another quiet task, but every favor has a fee behind the questions I don't ask. I'm the man they call at 3 a.m. when the damage is too deep for them to mend. I don't talk about the scene, I just walk in, close the door and draw the end. You see a calm, well-tailored gentleman, but my hands remember every shattered plan. I'm the man they call at 3 a.m. and it always leaves a stain. There's a picture in my wallet of a kid with crooked grin. We were drinking burned up coffee, swearing we'd stay out of sin. Years went by and I kept cleaning, kept his boots out of the mud, till one night they slid a folder with his name in red and flood. A
under rusted warehouse rafters, heard the river breathing slow. Saw his lighter on the table, watched the overhead light glow. There are lines you swear are solid till you're staring at the table, and the choice is let him vanish or go help him cross the gate of the man they call at 3. When the story can't afford another end, I don't beg and I don't plead, I just follow what the paper wants to send. But I look down at that folder with his name, and for once I let the orders ride the rain. Still I'm the man they call at 3 a.m. and the river knows my name. Desk lamp buzzing over, cheap motel print sky, TV on with no sound, blue light across my eyes. Motel key on the Bible, letter folded by my hand. I've been writing you all evening, a word you'll never scan. Truck brakes on the highway, sighing through the paper wall. Ice machine down the hallway, coughing every time it stalls. My boots by the door still carry someone else's town. Engine humming in my chest, but this body won't sit down. You fell for the quiet side, not the noise behind my tray. Thought these hands were built for holding, not the deals
favor that I carried wore a number on his back. Every smile that I collected had a ledger in the black. When the heat climbed up my collar, they started circling my lane. So I packed away all mornings, left you outside of the flame. Told you you'd be safer if you never knew the route I took. Now your shadow rides beside me every time I steal a look. There's a part of me that's driving and a part that never moves. One keeps the car between the lines, one pays the hidden dues. I'm a last exit gentleman, headlights low and clean. Leave before the trouble flowers, never stay to see the scene. I don't raise my voice, I just raise my leaving hand. Walk out while the fire's small and let it find another man. Yeah, I'm moving quiet circles where the long road starts to bend. I don't wait to beg forgiveness, I just vanish like a friend. Slide it in my jacket seam, kill the screen and let the silence fill the corners of this room. Neon from the diner flickers on the hood outside my door. Gas pump ticking under starlights, insects buzzing at the floor. I check the mirrors on the windshield like I'm checking who I am. Just a man who keeps on moving by the rules of his own hand. But the truth sleeps in the glove box with your picture bent and torn. You can walk out of a doorway, but not out of what you've sworn. If you hear an engine idling low out past your gate, if the night leans in and whispers like it's keeping you awake, that's a part of me that stayed there pacing circles in your room, while the rest keeps chasing borders underneath a hanging moon. I'm a last exit gem, headlights low and clean. Leave before the questions corner, never wait to watch you lean. I don't draw a gun, I just draw a line and go. Let the steadier men stay and fix it. I slip